Let's touch on the Antonio Brown thing for just a brief bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I know you want to.
Well, it's out there.
Well, I mean, if there's a COVID problem because Antonio Brown invited a lady friend into the Westin in New Jersey, snuck her past the security there. I mean, you can't even say that breaks COVID protocol. It's like blowing it up like it's over the River Kwai in the movies, you know. And so again, for anybody who doesn't know, it's all out there on social media. Very rarely do I quote anything from the Daily Mail. Was that what it was in? Was that you sent me a Daily Mail article? Got it. But look, there's all the receipts, which is kind of
well, then her story. Yes,
well, again, that's the receipts. You know, it's interesting that Antonio Brown has receipts on his social media accounts, and I guess receipts work both ways. She even had a photograph of the sign in the Westin about you're not allowed to go past this spot. I mean, she was taking snaps everywhere, going up the elevator to have a late night confab with Antonio Brown prior to taking on the Jets, and now she's got COVID. She put out, hey Bucks, you should test yourselves. Yep. Is what she said. And just again, look up her history and what she's known for and things of that nature. And I guess this would be a new strain of the coronavirus, which is the strain being the oh my God-acron strain of COVID. The latest sordidness that once again should be, you can't even say this is a bright, flashing warning sign. The latest example is, did he learn his lesson with the fake vaccination card? Clearly not. Should the Bucs test themselves? Oh, yeah, I'm imagining the COVID protocols are tight regardless of one guy breaking the protocols in this remarkably inappropriate and risky fashion. And what way to flip a middle finger to your teammates than that? Within 24 hours later, you're walking through, and then after that, barking at your all-time great quarterback who has had your back in not one but two places, who put you up in his house, to turn to him and assume that he's not being targeted by this guy who will target anybody. He would target Lucifer if he was on the roster and open. Certainly if it's to come back on the Jets.
Yeah,
By the way, the Jets being in the middle of all this. Oh, my gosh. How do you think that security meeting at the local Westin's going over right about now in that Zoom? Couldn't see her, huh? Strolling up.
I mean, she might have been
strolling in the elevator. And I mean, in case you're wondering, is she right? Is she wrong? Is she just making it up? She had his room number and put it out there. I mean,
that's what these jacks do, man.
Honestly, I have a journalism degree.
Two.
No, I didn't get a journalism. I was in communication in Michigan, but I graduated Medill School of Journalism with honors just for this moment to talk about somebody who's famous for licking toilet seats.
Oh, my God.
To go up in an elevator before a game for a late night call.
Rendezvous.
With, honestly, I'm laying it all out there just so anybody needs a little heads up. I'm being unfair. I wouldn't do this to somebody else. I wouldn't, trust me, anybody else who does this to a teammate, an organization over and over and over again, I'll be more than happy to talk about them. Although I'd prefer not to have to ever do this again.
This guy.
But it's just, again, note, just put a pin in this one in particular. Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. Put it on the wall. As a matter of fact, the NFL should require it. And you know what? The federal government should require it in terms of safe work rules, like OSHA. It should be like, those signs that you have up on the wall at workplaces, if anybody remembers what a workplace looked like. Just put it on the wall. The NFL should mandate this particular article. Put it on the wall for any executive, owner, coach, quarterback, player, teammate who's thinking, we could use somebody to stretch the field. Refer to this one. This one in particular. Not the one of him on the field because stripping down, because that still earns him standing ovations in basketball arenas and podcast appearances and all of that. All of that. Now this one and that one also still caused the Bucs to hold on to him for days because somebody else might grab him. Right? We were just had Ian Rappaport on saying, I don't know what the grievance would be. Maybe, it took some time to get some legal help for the Buccaneers to go through the fine print and figure that out. They kind of knew that to begin with. They were holding on to him, it appears, because they were afraid other teams are going to go get him. Put this article and these sets of facts right on the wall in the middle of a pandemic after he handed in a fake vaccination card and got suspended for it. This is what he did before all of the Sunday that. I'm now officially done.
Now we're done.
I don't know. We'll see who pops, if anybody pops, for COVID on the Buccaneers.
Does Antonio Brown play in the playoffs this year?
How? He's getting surgery.
No.
Is he?
No.
I mean, apparently.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Half of everybody who comes after me in the comments of all of the things that we're saying are like, I'm caping for the NFL and covering for the Bucs, and I'm also, racist. I'm getting that too, that I wouldn't. No, I'm serious. That I wouldn't be saying this about a white player. Mm-hmm. You're wrong. I'd say it about somebody green, pink, name it.
Crazy is crazy.
Martian, human, anybody that does this would get the same treatment from this chair. But I don't know how you square that the Bucs have done him dirty by holding on to him, and he should be able to go somewhere else. But also the Bucs did him dirty to the point where he can't go somewhere else because he's hurt. Which one is it?
Isn't it funny how that works?
Which one is it? It's kind of like the election was rigged for the presidential election, but all the down ballot stuff, that's thumbs up. How do we square that circle? Because everybody learns everything on the phone. That's why. And there's no nuance and there's no history around what you're seeing on your phone. That's why NFL teams clip and save this little article about what he did in New Jersey in his hotel room and what he did prior to that game. Put that one on the wall so you'll remember it. Don't forget it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.